Hey, welcome again. EUC Learn Along. What do we got for you today? Well, I went ahead and spun up a Win 10 machine because I think we might have issues with Win 11. I haven't tried, but we're going to add on to a couple things and then we'll look at the piece that I want to look at. Sorry, I got chili and onions in my teeth. Alright, so we left off, we were doing offloading of certs and something else. But we got our stores configured to use domain pass-through. And as you saw, we're still having to put in our credentials. And I had to get this working again to troubleshoot some things. And I had to go to bindings, and as we had this removed, gotta have that. But anyhow, not a part of this video. I already forgot what I was doing. Workspace app. Yes, that's what we were trying to get going. So Citrix has everything pretty well documented. For us, we're almost there. We just had to do a couple things. The big thing is XML trust. All right, so had to run this on our DDCs. No big thing. Add snap in Citrix. No big thing. Because you can have domain pass-through working, and when you go to launch the app, you get some failures. All right, so we had to enable that. We'll keep that in mind. I needed access back to Web Studio, so I had to put that back on IIS just to look at it. But let's log in. Because there's some more components that you need to get the Workspace app to work seamlessly. If you hear crunching, those are onions. All right. So I already got everything on this machine that I want to do. Sorry. And that's it. I want to look at desktop lock. I saw some postings about it. It is some old technology, but like stuff that's out there that's free that you can use to replace other things. Budget be getting tight. You gotta look at this stuff. Anyhow, so I got that pulled up as well. Is this desktop lock? Yes. Alright, key features, prereqs. Again, it kind of all ties together. So we didn't finish the prereqs, but we're going to finish that. That way it ties off our Citrix environment. We have a seamless login through web and a seamless login through Citrix Workspace app. Alright, so we ran that PowerShell script on our DDCs. Component 1. Alright, and for desktop lock, I went ahead and created our commands that we need. Again, it's all provided in the documentation through Citrix. Yep. Alright, so you get your Citrix Workspace app. Include SSO. The name of your store. Ours is, what is it? Store service by default. Then our storefront server, storefront.euclearnalong. The rest of this will stay the same. And again, followed by the store. All right, so we got our commands. We got the Citrix Workspace already on here. We're going to run this as admin because desktop lock, as you can read or can't read, since I'm telling you, it's a video blog. That's what you're going to need. Yep. All right, space. And we probably could set this up. Do policy. Not this piece, but the rest of it. Because we did have to do some policy pieces for single sign-on. And I'll show you that once this gets going. Again, probably need to move all this stuff to GPO. All right. Check single sign-on for us within the command installed. So let that run. All right, we'll go to our policies. I went ahead and did it just to save us some time. Yep. Again, we got stuff in here for the strength indicator, desktop viewer. We even got our quality indicator in here. But you need two things. All right. So with all in computer policy, you need to add your storefront server for your zone assignment. One, that's for the intranet. And then you need to select logout options to automatic log in with current username and password. All right, and let's look at what that does. Control panel. We could just set locally, but again, trying to progress. That way when we build out these environments or get further along of being more compliant, resilient, all these other big terms will be there when we build these labs or if you're building a prod environment. Internet options. Where the heck is it? All right, so if we look at our internal sites, all right, we got our storefront listed, cancel, and then we got this set. All right, so with this, domain pass-through, with these two things, domain pass-through enabled on your store, XML trust set, you should be good. And if you're having trouble with single sign-on, I'll give you a troubleshooting piece. There is a configuration checker somewhere right here. All right, you got one for beacon, single sign-on. So I had to use this. All right, and I got some errors, and I had to go and set up this policy. Again, I'm getting an error right now, but more than likely, I just need to reboot the machine. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. Well, I take that back. We're going to install desktop lock and then reboot. All right, install. No. All right, so I'm going to launch Citrix Workspace app. It's probably going to fail for the single sign-on. No biggie. But this is what we were getting. All right. And I got desktop lock on here. So I won't be able to see this. But when I remove this, reboot it, we're going to see everything work. All right. Restart. All right, so we're doing two key things in this video. Looking at another platform for logging into Citrix, and then we're fixing some store settings for the Workspace app. All right, now how to get Studio working. All right, so users, this is what they expect when they see, when they walk up to a machine. And you can have your MFA product, whatever here. So let's look at the admin again. All right, so if you log in as a local admin, desktop block, yep, that shell will be broken. And since I rebooted, I should have taken care of my errors. And now we're good to go. No red X's. All right, so if we click on it, it should automatically sign in with our logged in credentials. All right, so that's another piece for our infrastructure. And we got a seamless login for Store Web and Store. Well, I take that back. It's not seamless for web, but I got my browser to remember my credentials. And what was that? I think it was here for all of them. All right, so all this can seem like it's working, but if you don't have that XML trust, if you were to click on these apps, it would fail. All right, so make sure you run your PowerShell command against your DDCs, but we're good to go. It logs in. I know it's going to work. So let's sign out. Yes. That was a big gulp. Sorry. So we're going to log in with our standard user and see what we get. Oh, looky. No desktops available. Well, that's not good. Well, luckily we got Studio pulled up. Or do we? Web Studio. Is it doing updates? Nope. Oh, it's registered. Okay, it failed. Alright, so you do have two options here. These are for the local machine. So sign out will sign out the local machine. Restart will restart the local machine. Alright, so now it's working. It's launching our Citrix desktop. And bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we got our desktop viewer here. Look at that. No access. No user interaction to the OS. Take that back. But it's pretty cool. I think so. I mean, there's some caveats, but I'll post them in the vlog. Yeah, can't be having 20 desktops for one person, but if they do, there's probably something else that's going on that's wrong. Excuse me. Yep, CPU load is high. That's great. User experience is through the roof. All right. Oh, I know it's not configured. But you got a camera, printer. You know, this is all done through Citrix policy. Yep, look at that. You can still access the OS, only things you need, but you cannot have that interface. All right, and if we hit disconnect, yep, signs out, back to the next user. So we have a pretty nifty solution to sign into Citrix. And to limit what they can do in the local machine. So, pretty cool, I think. Let me try on Windows 11. I think it may be broke. I can't remember. But this will prompt errors, as you see. It will sign you out if there's problems or it takes too long. Oh, it is working. Cool. All right, so there's some issues in that article with 24H2. Look at that, right where I left off. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. OS agnostic. And there we got our policies applied. I don't know where this one's sitting. Why is it not getting the policies? Computers. Might need to look into that at some point. Oh, I know why. Because we're using a different version of Citrix Workspace on here. 2409. Yep. But cool, right? I keep saying cool. I'm trying to convince you. But I saw some people posting about this. Thought it was a good replacement for some of the other solutions we looked at. It is technology that's been around. This has been around for a while. But, I mean, hey, pretty simple setup. Something kind of easy to manage versus, ThinScale's got more of a suite of items it can do. With this one, it's pretty straightforward. If you need to reset the Citrix Workspace on these machines for whatever reason, you can always use PowerShell, automate that. A lot of cool things you can do. And if you need to log in, you just log in with the admin account to access the OS. But nifty. Put your MFA solution on the Windows machine. Bam. All you do is just need to patch it and make sure that software is getting patched too. What else was there? All right, so let's do a recap. So I did break Web Studio. And I think I mentioned that in the video, as we were just using port 80. I did remove that, but I added it back and added our cert for it. So now Web Studio does work. We did have domain pass-through already enabled, but as you saw, it was just prompting for username and password. But you do need that configured for the Workspace app. we had to set our XML truss to true. All right, so we ran that on our DDCs. And then policy, or we could set it on the local machine as we were just testing. But we're going to build this policy up and we'll just reuse it. I don't remember what I was doing here with this. I don't remember. But the policies you need on the machine are these two right here. And we looked at that on the local machine. All right, so if you get a bunch of different stores, you have to enable that here. 1 for internal, 2 I think might be internet, and then I think you got 4 options. And then log on options. Bam. All right, so we covered 2 things. We got single sign-on and our Citrix Workspace app to work with a better user experience, seamless experience, and then we looked at the technology for desktop lock. Yeah. Let's see, where's Citrix Workspace app? All right, if you want to try it out, they're trying to get you. Download. They're trying to get me. It does show within here. All right, these for some of them under admin tools. I've seen it in LTSR, but let's go back. I think it's under plugins. Additional software. Yep, there we go. Desktop lock under plugins. So simple deployment, simple setup to get that. Usually your environment will be set up. It's already working. All you do is just need to install the desktop lock app, and I think they give you the commands here. All right, so yeah, prereq you should already have covered down. When you deploy your Workspace app, give you those commands. Bam, then a quiet install for desktop lock. Need copy. Yep. I think they're telling you to copy everything. All right. Does not works. Authentication. What are the caveats? Single user, sign in. Yep. A user is signed in to the first desktop that is alphabetically sorted with the name of all desktops assigned to you. Currently, there is no option to selectively choose a desktop. Okay. Yep. As we saw, we only had the one desktop anyway. All right. It only supports desktops, not apps. Okay, so it does have its use cases. All right, gives you some key commands, uninstall. But there we go, a simple solution for a kiosk, shared machine, or a machine that you just want to have only access to Citrix and not the OS itself. But I'm happy. We'll use that and we'll play that out. But I'm more happy that we got our Citrix environment set up to use both. Workspace app, just open it, we're there, and we're good to go. Anyhow, Hope you learned something.